There's been a shooting in Hartford and at least one person is dead. I'm Joe Monty with more in just a few minutes.
We'll have that and a lot more, including the weather, because it's going to be another hot one. Good morning. Happy Tuesday to you. Thanks so much for checking in with us here at Fox 61. I'm Erica Arias.
And I'm Bridget Bjorlo, and we are kicking Tuesday off with another weather impact alert due to the heat. Let's check in with Matt. Matt, we reached 90 degrees 2 days in a row. Can we do it a third time?
I think it's a safe bet we will. Temperatures may actually topple some records. The old record, 94 degrees, set way back in the 60s.
Oh, wow.
So I think we got a shot at it. It's going to be a real hot one today, and humidity's going to increase as well. Put it all together, you get a tough day, and so that's why we have the weather impact alert sirens going. Do we see a record from this heat wave? Absolutely on the table. Humidity's on the table as well. Going to feel every bit of it, so air quality is an issue out there. More on that in a moment. The Wednesday forecast has some storms, and those storms are going to break this streak and keep things down for the count for a while after that. We'll talk about that too in a bit. Heat index between 95 and 100. That's good enough for a heat advisory for Hartford, Talbot, Windham County. But even if you're not there, everybody's going to feel the heat, and just about everyone in the state suffering from asthma, respiratory issues, and the like may very well be having some trouble outside. Bottom line, take it easy. The heat can catch up on you quickly. Live look at Hartford. Look at that sun. That just feels warm. It's just like baking us here through the cameras. Numbers are up thanks to the sun and going up quickly. Everything ahead of this front is going to be warm and muggy, so we'll keep this forecast in play for at least the next 48 hours. 68 in Hartford right now, 61 in New Haven, 58, the coolest number on the board. So yeah, it's a little above normal to say the least. 90s by lunchtime, a few more clouds in the afternoon, an isolated shower or thunderstorm. We're under a marginal risk for severe weather, and that again is going to be spotty at worst. Now, better chance for rain tomorrow. What about the Memorial Day holiday forecast? There's rain there too. We'll talk about it all coming up in a few minutes. Let's talk about the traffic right now. Bridget's got that. Good morning.
All right, Matt, thanks so much. Reminding you about an impact in East Windsor. I-91 northbound is closed this morning. Happened about 3 hours ago. A car hit a pedestrian early this morning at around 3 a.m. And that's why the exits 44 and 45, they're closed this morning. Take a different route. Connecticut State Police are still on the scene. We're still waiting to learn if anyone was transported to a hospital. Also, if you take the ferry, the Rocky Hill Ferry is closed again 2 days in a row due to high water, so be mindful of that. Elsewhere in our state, Fairfield County drive times, we're starting to see some slowdowns in 95 South. Bridgeport to Fairfield, 12 minutes. It's going to take you 32 miles per hour. And on the Merritt, Trumbull to Westport, you are cruising at 18 minutes at 49 miles per hour. A quick peek outside of the Brass City of Waterbury. The sun is up. Traffic is moving nicely. No issues there. We'll have another update in traffic in about 15 minutes from now.
6:03 right now. We're getting back to that breaking news we were telling you about at the top of this hour. There's been a deadly shooting in the capital city. Fox 61's Joe Monty is there near the scene. Joe, what are you hearing from sources there? And also, have you seen or talked to any witnesses in the area?
Good morning, Erica. We spoke to a couple of people that live in the area, but nobody was unfortunately around for the situation, so nobody was able to tell us anything. We have reached out to police as well in just the last few minutes, and they weren't able to give us any updates just yet, but they said that there is more coming a little later this morning, so we'll be keeping an eye out for that. But we can tell you what we know so far, and that there is a homicide investigation here on Albany Avenue and Cabot Street. I'll step off to the side and show you. Police are still here. The scene has calmed down a little bit, but there's still a lot of caution tape around this Shell gas station here on Albany Avenue. A number of cars still left in the parking lot from when this scene occurred. Police have been here all morning. The shooting happened overnight. We learned at about 4:30 this morning that someone called the police and reported hearing about 8 gunshots. And when police got to the scene, they found a man shot and seriously injured. They began CPR immediately and sent him to St. Francis Hospital. Police say there's still a large amount of evidence at this Shell gas station, in particular on Albany Avenue. There was more on Cabot Street, just off to the left of the gas station. There was some police tape over on the Bank of America parking lot there, and then there was even some police tape in front of that that greenhouse, which we believe is 83 Cabot Street. So police are still conducting their investigation, and we're working to learn more about, who potentially was involved, whether there were any arrests, if any other people were possibly injured or even killed. We are working to learn more, and we'll bring you any updates we get throughout the morning. For now in Hartford, Joe Monti, Fox 61.
All right, Joe, thanks for the update there. Meantime, a new report from the Inspector General's office says that the officer involved in the shooting that killed Stephen Jones back in February was not justified. Former Hartford police officer Joseph Magnano, who was fired by Hartford Mayor Arun Arulampalam shortly after the body cam footage of the incident was released, he is now facing first-degree manslaughter charges. And now the family of Stephen Jones, their attorney, and civil rights leaders plan to speak publicly today at a press conference. That's going to be at 11:30 this morning, right in front of the Hartford Police Office. For the first time, they're going to be speaking out about this report and the manslaughter charge against Magnano. We'll get you a live update on our Fox 61 News app.
And as we mentioned, former police officer Magnano faces a manslaughter charge in connection to that shooting. Fox 61's Brent Harden took a deeper dive into the Inspector General's report.
The State Office of Inspector General charged Officer Joseph Magnano with first-degree manslaughter Monday, and Hartford Mayor Arun Arulampalam believes it was an important step.
I think what we saw today was an affirmation of the process of justice that we have, and also the very foundation of our public safety infrastructure.
The Inspector General's report says a family member called 911 on February 27th to report 55-year-old Stevie Jones was having a mental health crisis, that he had cut himself and still had the knife. 3 officers arrived and tried to persuade Jones to drop the knife. He was even tasered 3 times, but didn't go down. And that's when Officer Joseph Magnano arrived, firearm drawn. Jones advanced on Magnano, who backed up to maintain distance, and finally yelled, quote, "Last time, drop the knife, drop it," before firing 9 shots, hitting Jones 7 times. Magnano told the OIG, quote, "I believe Jones had the intention to harm me, another officer, or a nearby citizen." He added, "I then fired my department-issued firearm until I observed Jones on the ground." Tempers flared in the aftermath, leading to demonstrations and protests on the streets of Hartford. And in late March, Hartford Mayor Arun Arulampalam fired Officer Magnano.
I said that I believe that his actions didn't rise to the standard that we hold our police officers to for public safety, for care, for community crisis intervention and de-escalation.
And after looking into the incident, the Inspector General decided the same thing, saying, quote, "After an investigation into the totality of the circumstances of Officer Magnano's use of deadly force, I have determined that his actions were not objectively reasonable. Accordingly, I conclude that his use of deadly force was not legally justified."
Well, new this morning, a judge has denied a habeas corpus petition by Michelle Troconis that challenged her convictions in the Jennifer Farber-Dulos case. In the court's decision on Monday, the judge said that her attorney at the time, Andrew Bowman, provided her competent legal counsel. The decision comes after months of hearings and testimony. Troconis claimed that Bowman's counsel was ineffective when it came to her interviews with state police before the trial.
Stratford police arrested a former Stratford High School wrestling coach following a sexual assault investigation. Police say a now 20-year-old woman reported last week that she was sexually assaulted while she was a student at Stratford High School. Following an investigation, detectives arrested 36-year-old Jordan Myron. He is charged with second-degree sexual assault. He's being held this morning on a $150,000 bond and is scheduled to appear in court May 19th.
A judge sentenced an Enfield man convicted of sexually assaulting a minor. A judge ordered 25-year-old Aaron Stiles to serve 10 years, suspended after 5 years, followed by 15 years of probation. And he's also going to have to register as a sex offender. Prosecutors say the victim was a 16-year-old student at a martial arts studio at Enfield. That's where Stiles worked as an instructor. Norwalk police arrested 2 smoke shop employees accused of illegally selling marijuana from stores that were not licensed dispensaries. Searches at Wally's Convenience and King's Tobacco and Vape Shop led to the seizure of more than 5 pounds of cannabis products, including flour, vapes, and gummies. 28-year-old Imad Al-Wadi and 20-year-old Sari Saleh were charged with possession with intent to sell cannabis. Both are heading to court later this month. And happening today, Governor Lamont is going to sign a bill making absentee ballots available to all Connecticut voters. Now, this new law removes previous restrictions that limited who could vote by absentee ballot in elections and primaries. The change comes after voters approved a constitutional amendment on the issue during the 2024 election.
And positive news for commuters in New York. Trains are expected to start running again today after a deal was reached to end the Long Island Railroad strike. The Transportation Authority and 5 unions reached an agreement on contract negotiations late last night. So that means trains will start running again at around noon time, but it remains unclear when full service will be restored.
Now, this contract will ensure that 3,500 Long Island Railroad employees will be paid fairly for their labor. And I want them to know this. I deeply value and respect the hard work they do. We're out there every single day making sure the job gets done.
Around 250,000 people depend on the commuter rail system, and commuters are told to brace for delays again today.
Coming up next here on Fox 61, a popular patio swing sold at Costco is now being recalled after multiple reports of injuries. We'll tell you important information you need to know.
And the Trump administration says hundreds of generic drugs are being added to the Trump RX website, giving consumers another way to compare prices and potentially save money on prescriptions.
Also ahead, Elon Musk says that Tesla's robotaxi service could expand across the country later this year as the company pushes toward a future dominated by self-driving cars. We'll get you more information on that. Stay with us.